we have a choice. Either save the tooth or save your life. The choice is yours.
Because it's a front tooth, I'm scared I'll be toothless.
Then you put in a temporary, called a temporary or a treatment partial, as soon as it is removed. They're called little flippers. After you've worn one 3 days, you understand why they're called flippers. You can flip them in and out. But no, you do not want to run around without a tooth up there. Now, a bridge can be put in later on, or a permanent partial, but right away you can take the tooth out and give it 10, 15 minutes to get a good clot up there, and put the other tooth in. So, no, you do not have to run around without front teeth, because I certainly wouldn't want to do that, and I doubt that you'd want to do that. So, yes, we do want function, we do want aesthetics, and dentistry has been able to provide this for well over 50 years. I mean, I've been in dentistry for 50 years, and 50 years ago we could do that with a very simple procedure. But today, you know, they want to take the tooth out and put an implant in or do a root canal. Well, that's not in the best interest of health, as we have found by doing DNA evaluations of the bacteria around these sick teeth. In fact, we have one now that's a pre-test. It's called Preview. You just take a little piece of paper. It looks like it's called a paper point used in dentistry. It looks like a toothpick, but it's made out of paper. And you just slip that under the gums around that tooth, so it's totally painless thing. It's like flossing. You just stick it under the gums. Then you bite down on a scientific instrument. It's called a popsicle stick. You bite down on that for 60 seconds, and if there is an infection down at the root tip, then it will squirt up, like squeezing an ice cream cone. It will squirt up into the little moat around the tooth, and there is quite enough picked up on that paper point that with the accuracy of DNA, we can find bacteria there. We may find 5, 6, 7, 8. We may find 10, 20, 30. Well, not from that one, but with the preview test, we test for about 5 or 6 bacteria there. And if you've got some of those bacteria, then you know you've got an infected tooth. Then you can take the tooth and run the full view on it and find out the 20, 30, 40, 50 bacteria, whatever are there, that contribute to autoimmune diseases and other diseases of, quote, unknown origin.
So basically, once you see something like this in a tooth and you go in the next level and you get more in-depth, zoomed-in x-rays, right?
Yes.
Then you have a clearer sense of the nature of it, but mostly the protocol would be to take it out and to put in a partial in the meantime.
Correct, but this leaves out a few things.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you're going to fly from Los Angeles to Denver, you get on the airplane and fly there. Well, there are a few things that are required. You know, building the airplane, you have to train the pilots, you have to have runways. All these things have to be done for a tooth as well. Now, when you touch that tooth, here's one that's fearsome. When you touch that tooth with the gentle forceps to remove the tooth, instantly those bacteria are going to go in the bloodstream, and they're going to start looking for a new home. And the primary places they look are brain, heart, liver, kidney. And then it can go to a bunch of others if it has a preference. But those are the waterfront properties, so to speak. But this can be and this is called a bacteremia, which means bacteria in the bloodstream. And this can be helped a great deal by taking intravenous vitamin C while you have the tooth removed and then continue it for a few hours afterwards, because that has the ability to break the toxins in half. I mean, bacteria is one problem, but the problem with the bacteria is the same problem as with a loaded gun. A loaded gun isn't really too dangerous until you pull the trigger. Well, the bacteria, when the trigger is pulled, produce toxins, and the toxins are what destroy tissues. And this is what can be handled by intravenous vitamin C.
You know what's interesting? I cannot figure out how I got this because I take good care of my teeth. I have my teeth cleaned every 3 months. I don't understand how that could happen in the front. I don't eat processed foods. I drink a lot of water. I take supplements. I don't get it.
You ever do boxing? Play hockey?
No.
Baseball? Somebody hits you in the mouth with a baseball?
No. I have drank from a glass a couple times, and as I brought it to my face, hit my tooth.
Well, the important thing is that it's there. You could have done something, turned over and hit the bedside table at night when you were asleep and went right back to sleep and didn't know it. Trauma is one thing that does it, but if you want to get real picky about things, there's something else that will do it that also has an answer. You mentioned getting your teeth cleaned every 3 months.
Right.
I don't want it to be said that Huggins says never clean your teeth, though I've had mine cleaned once since I graduated in 1962. But if dentists or hygienists look at them, they say it looked like they were cleaned within the last 2 weeks. Well, as a dentist, I know a little more about how to keep calculus and stuff like that away. But there's always bacteria sitting around in the mouth. Now, if these bacteria are sitting in the mouth, they really are not very dangerous, are they? Well, they can be. And the if there is if they get in the bloodstream. Because in the mouth, these bacteria are reasonably harmless. But the mouth has a pH of something between 6 and 7, which is a measure of the balance between acid and
alkaline. Right.
Now, blood has a pH of 7.35. Now, these bacteria, when they go into an environment that has a pH above 7, certain genes are turned on. And even though, I've been working in this field actually since 1958 when I entered school, I only learned this within the last year working in our DNA laboratory, that these bacteria can get into the blood, and that's what stimulates them to create certain bacteria, certain toxins. Some of them specialize in dissolving bone. So this is beginning to pull things together. If you get your teeth cleaned and the gums bleed a little bit, you have a two-way street. And this means that the bacteria in the mouth can go in the bloodstream into your surrounding bloodstream. But if it kind of crawls down around that tooth, and if it happens to be one of these 2 or 3 bacteria that dissolves bone, it can crawl all the way down to the root tip and start dissolving bone. So what do? Never have your teeth cleaned? No, but there is a preventive measure that costs probably less than a penny and can prevent things like this from happening. And that is take a little Ziploc bag or something with some salt in it when you go to the dentist. When you have your teeth cleaned, as soon as the dentist or the hygienist is finished cleaning the teeth, immediately go to the bathroom and put about maybe a half a teaspoon of salt in the palm of your hand, lick it up, and with the other hand put in maybe a tablespoon or so of water. And then the important part, rinse aggressively so that the salt water goes in between the teeth and kills the bacteria. Because, a lot of people have sore throats once in a while. What do? You gargle with salt water. How long does it take before it feels better? 2 or 3 seconds.
Why does salt kill bacteria?
That's part of its job description. It changes the... You sure you want to know this?
Yeah.
Selective permeability of the cell wall. The cell membrane lets certain things in and certain things out. And that's why most of our body is contained within cells. Well, when salt hits it, it ruptures that cell membrane, and whatever it touches is dead if it's in the line of bacteria. So it kills it practically on contact. If you look back a couple hundred years, 300 or 400 years when they had a lot of sailing vessels, if a sailor did something bad, they flogged him with the cat o' nine tails, which is a whip that had 9 pieces of leather on it. Well, that hurt, and it cut up the back, and you were going to get infected and die. Well, the captain didn't really want you to die, so they sprinkled salt all over your back. Well, it hurt like the dickens, but you didn't get an infection. So that's what you want to do at the dental office, is prevent that infection from going into your bloodstream.